Hello, my name is Eric DeFratis. I am the author of Tales of a Demon Hunter and Tales of a Demon Hunter Volume 2. I'm a father and husband who lives in Williamsburg, and I would like to talk to you about my travels in the world of writing. Now, I've always wanted to write this great story, great action adventure, and have fun and just make this incredible world and everything. And with the prodding of my wife, and also at the time having to deal with some personal issues, one of which being the death of my father, I finally found that motivation to do it. Now, one of the first books I wrote was a superhero book called Shadows of Patriotism. Now, before you go and try to find that online, right now I've in the process of re-editing it so it can be a much better product than what it came out the first time around. But, one of the many motivations, like I said, was to write that awesome story. But when I got older and when I became a father, and I started noticing what was happening in the world, it started becoming not just about writing that awesome kick-ass story, but also to deal with social issues. And I think as a writer, you have this obligation to try to help show those and deal with those in the literature realm. And so that started becoming more of a motivator. I was still writing that awesome story, but it had a social conscience to it. And I think that is something that most writers should try to attain to. Now, unfortunately, there are pitfalls in the writing world. There are predatory publishing companies that will make you pay out the nose, or if they're free, then they put you on a contract for several years, overprice your book, and you never see anything coming your way. So that's something you have to be mindful of, because if you're not, you can get a lot of trouble. One of the examples I can give is what I had to go through with a company called Publish America that locked me into a 7-year contract for my first book. And they didn't do much in the line of editing or artwork or anything like that. So it's something that if you want to start writing, you need to keep an eye out for and always do your research. So that is something to really be mindful of. Now, next thing I'm going to talk to you about is my process on how I create this awesome story. Now, my process always starts off with an outline. And think of an outline as, a roadmap. You want to start at one destination and then get to another, and you got to figure out how you're going to get through there, what lanes, what roads, what interstates, everything you need to get there. Now, the first thing you do is create a character list. And that gives you create the bios, what they look like, their mindset, male, female, good, bad, everything you need to make sure that character can be fleshed out in your story. Now, in the case of Wraith, which is the main character in Tales of a Demon Hunter, I don't always do that. I usually put him in the list and say, okay, what's his mindset this time? Because we already know what he looks like. We already know what he's about. What is he like at this moment? But other than that, if it's a new character, it's always a pretty substantial breakdown. Then I go into the sections, or what I call the sections. You got your first, your second, and your third. I come from a theatrical background, so I think of them as a first act, second act, third act. And that gives you the overall idea of how you want the story to go. And you write down what you want in each section and what they're going to be like in the first, what's it going to be like in the second, what's it going to be like in the third. But that doesn't mean that you can't make little, side trips to add a little something more to the story. There might even be new characters you add that you like and want to keep, But if you stay to that main structure for the most part, it'll make the writing process a lot easier. At least it does for me. Now, I also do a lot of research, especially given the type of writing I do in horror, I want to use a lot of cultural creatures. So I always look up what's a scary creature in Egyptian myth, or what's it in African myth, or anything. And the surprising fact is that you'll find a lot of similarities or a lot of same creatures in different myths and everything like that. But research is a very important part of what I do. Yeah, yes, I'll make up some things here and there. I'll make up a monster there, here and there, but I always find it more fascinating to figure out what other creatures in the world that are there and that I can inject into my stories. And for my character ideas, I'm heavily influenced by comic books and a lot of horror movies and everything like that. Wraith is kind of this mixture of Clint Eastwood, Snake Plissken from Escape from New York, and probably a little bit of The Punisher. But I try to make them about as original as I can, put on my own little persona into them, because there's a lot of characters a lot of the characters I write have a little bit of me in them, and a lot of authors have a tendency to do that. And a lot of the dialogue or monologues or anything I write are sometimes based on cool things I wish I would have thought of at the moment, but didn't till 30 minutes later, and thought, oh man, that would have been cool to say to that person or something like that. But being a writer, I have that opportunity to do that. So that's kind of how I go about things. That's how I create the lone little world. And it is a world, and it's fun to create that kind of universe. And so I encourage more people to do that, even if you're not a writer. Create your own little world. Come up with little ideas. It's really neat. It's really cool. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the influences when it comes to my writing. Now, the path to becoming a writer on Amazon is a lot easier than you think it is. First, you have to go to the website, and that would be kdp.amazon.com. And then it'll give you the option, do you want to start? And you have to create your own profile, which also means you have to create your own username and your own password. And then it will slowly bring you into how you can create your own book. It'll give you the options whether you want to make it an ebook or a paperback or both. But it has that roadmap for you to be able to do it. It's very simple. It's very easy. It gives you options about marketing. It lets you add to their lending library, which could have people read your book for free, but if they read the whole book, you do get a real royalty over that. They have this when it comes to their library system. You do get to be part of that royalty system. I can't remember. I think it's 40% royalty so far on Amazon. But the best advice I can do is don't make your books too expensive. Usually when it comes to an ebook, I wouldn't make it more than $2, $2 or $3. And then when it comes to your regular book, because they're a 6x9 paperback, I wouldn't make it more than $9, just to be a little more realistic. Like I said, they have a whole marketing thing. You can set up your own author page on there. You can see how other writers are doing it. They have a place where you can give you advice. They have tutorials. They have all kinds of things for you on Amazon to be able to create your book and be able to get it out there. Now, don't expect to be a millionaire overnight. It just doesn't happen. That's why you don't get into writing for that reason. You get in because you love telling a story. So be realistic about what your goals are. If you want to write. If you want to make money, you might want to try to do something else. Because eventually there are some writers who that's what they make a living off of, but the majority of them don't. So you have to be realistic about your goals. And that's about what I can say about Amazon. It's one of the better systems out there. Yeah, you can self-publish, but then you'd have to do other things, go to other places for marketing and everything, and Amazon has it right all there for you. So that would be my advice, is to go with them first. If eventually you want to change to somebody, go for it, you know. But remember to be realistic about your goals. I would like to thank you all for the opportunity to speak to your group. I think it was a lot of fun. And I would also like to thank Maureen for giving me the opportunity to do so. And if you want to follow me on Facebook, you can follow me at facebook.com/Eric A. DeFratis. I also have a website at edefratis.wix.com/Eric. And if you have any questions that you want to send me and would like me to answer, you can email me at edefratis@gmail.com. And also, go ahead and go on Amazon and feel free to pick up my books. And if you do, please leave me a review. I'm always eager to hear what you have to say. Thanks again, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.